There are 4 things we must not look back to. Number 1, don't look back to the sins you have repented of. Number 2, don't look back at opportunities you've missed. Number 3, don't look back at the past and see it better than your future. And number 4, don't look back at old conflicts that make you bitter. There are always going to be things that you remember in the past that makes you feel bitter and angry, especially when you see the people who made you angry. There will always be conflicts in our past. Some conflicts, we have to move on from them. Just want to encourage husbands and wives, learn to move forward. Stop talking about those same old problems and you did this in 1998. We keep rehearsing the same conflict, and you know anytime you raise that issue, your whole marriage is poisoned, but somehow you get back to it over and over. Why do you like poisoning yourself? Move on. Each one of us have conflicts. Some of us have conflicts with our brothers and sisters. And anytime you meet your sister or your brother, old conflicts come back and old bitterness resurrects. And somehow every reunion is an encounter with bitterness and disappointment. Don't look back at old conflicts that make you feel bitter. You have to learn to release hurts. And you have to learn to release people who have hurt you in the past. Because if you carry pain into the future, you poison your future with your past. Don't look back at old conflicts. Some of us need to let the end of this year be the end of some conflicts in our lives. We need to be able to sit up and say, from today, I'm not going to bring up this subject again in my life. I'm not going to talk about it again. It's past, it's gone. And never mention it. If you want help, maybe write the thing on a piece of paper and go and burn it and say, from today, I'm not going to talk about this issue again. So we have to look forward. But there are 2 ways of looking forward. There is a wrong way and a right way. So I'm going to talk about the wrong way of looking forward, and then I'm going to end with the right way of looking forward. When you're looking forward, don't look forward to a repetition of life as you know it. Change is inevitable. If we're looking for a carbon copy of our past, we'll be disappointed. The future is not determined to be a repetition of the past. New things are going to happen. Things are not going to be the way they are. It's not going to be a turnaround. Some people say, well, every year we hear it. It's a new year, new opportunity, and it's the same. It's not the same. 2012 is not the same as 2011, and 2013 will never be the same as 2012. It's a new year, it's a new opportunity, it's not a repetition of life. And for many of you, you can tell that your life, although some things have remained seemingly the same, a lot of things have changed. Even you have changed. Some of you have discovered things about you that you didn't know you had. You've grown grayer. You are not the same. It's not a repetition. Don't look to 2013 as a repetition of your life. You may be down today, but the next year you may be up. You may have been rejected, but you are about to be embraced. You may have lived this year with a lot of struggle, but who knows the new story that is about to unfold before you. It's not a repetition. And never look forward to the future and say, the future is unknown, that's how life is. You know, I'm always going to live here. Who told you you're going to live in that room next year? Don't look to the future to be a repetition of your past. Number 2, second wrong view. Don't look to the future with anxiety and skepticism. None of us have experienced the future in reality. So the future is always unknown. So although the future is unknown, it's not a frightful unknown. It's a good unknown. It's like somebody giving you a nice, beautiful present. It's unknown. It's a box, but it has a nice wrapping and a nice ribbon and a nice card on top of it. Although you don't know what is inside it, you know there must be something good in store for you. Don't look at the future as a box that is unknown and say, what is it going to bring me? Maybe it will bring me sickness. Maybe it will bring me that and that and that and that. Don't look to the future with anxiety and skepticism. Thirdly, don't look to the future without planning for them. Being positive about the future does not mean we should not plan for the future. So when we say the future is going to be better, it doesn't mean you just sit back and say, Well, it's going to be good. That is one philosophy of life that you have to discard. There are things which must happen that don't happen, and there are things which must not happen that do happen. Your attitude will pull a blessing or a curse. You got to do something about the future. You have to plan for it. So if you believe the future is going to be so great, you have to do something about it. If you want to be a nurse, what do? You go to nursing school. When you go to nursing school, doesn't mean you don't believe you'll be a nurse. No, it actually means you believe you will be a nurse. Why? Because you believe a nurse is in your future, so you plan to be a nurse. You don't say, I'm going to be a nurse and go to carpentry school. So whatever you believe your future is, plan towards it. So don't look forward to the future and say, oh, it's going to be good, and no plan for it. If I believe I'm going to build a house next year, I have to plan. If I believe I want to buy a car next year, I have to plan. If I want to marry next year, I have to plan. Whatever you want to be next year, plan and work towards it. Don't look to the future and just say it's going to be good and leave it there. You have to work towards it. And next year is going to be hard work. Look forward towards it. So now let's look at the right way to view the future. What should you see when you're looking into the future? I'll tell you 3 things that you should look forward to in the future. Number 1, look forward to God's unfailing grace. If there is something you can bank on as a constant in your future, is that the grace of God will never fail you. God will not be wicked towards you. His grace will never fail you. His help will always be there. His mercy will be renewed for you every morning. His goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life. From 1st January to 31st December, goodness and mercy shall follow you every day of your life. Everybody may fail you, but God's grace will never fail you. Your friends will disappoint you, but His grace would always be constant. When you're weak, He is strong. When you are down, He will lift you up. When men pursue you, He will defend you. When you are surrounded on every side, He will fight for you. When people give up on you, He will never give up on you. His grace is unfailing. You can look forward to that. You can cash it at the bank. It will always be full of supply. You look forward to God's unfailing grace. Look forward to new opportunities. That's why you don't have to look back to the old missed opportunities, because new ones are coming. Every day is a day of new mercies. You can look forward to new opportunities. God says, I know your strength. I know you are weak. I know you have enemies all around you, but I've set before you an open door. Never bank your destiny on something that didn't happen last year. Don't say, oh, it didn't happen, so it will never happen. You may miss it, but God will open another door. He will always open another door. So look forward to new opportunities. There will be new open doors. God knows how to make room for those who trust in Him. So never say the opportunity is gone. I missed it last year. I made a mistake last year. Oh God, how will it open again? The same God that opened last year's opportunity and this year's opportunity, His unfailing grace will continue to open doors for you. Look to the future and look forward to new opportunities. And finally, look to the future and look forward to a new life of purpose. You can look forward to the future, to a life of fulfillment and significance, because God is going to bring you to the expected end. There are people who are expecting things about you that are evil. They will be disappointed. There are people who have already predicted how your future will end. They've already said, oh, we'll finish you. I will finish her. We'll finish him. You watch, we'll finish her. God knows who to finish. You will not be disappointed, because God knows how to bring you to the expected end. Some things you've been looking forward for 20 years are about to happen, because God is able to give us the expected end. So I came to tell you, we are closing a chapter on a year, but that is not the end of the book. A new chapter is starting very soon, and what is yet to be written has not been told you. We are looking forward, not because we are bold and audacious. We are looking forward because we have a God who is the same. His mercy never fails, whose grace never fails. And we can trust him that he will do great things for us in the coming year. Because God is about to surprise you and to shock you positively.